what that means for our health as we're facing the unknown with the bird flu, and our eggs are costing double digits at the grocery store?
You know, I think it's best for me to explain it through the lens of the pandemic. I was a C-suite executive at a safety net hospital when COVID hit, right? And we had a then Trump administration that fomented anti-science, fomented misinformation and disinformation. And flatly, we were not prepared, had dwindled our pandemic and public health preparedness. So you look back and see how poorly we performed at that time, and it looks like we haven't learned our lessons. When threats are proliferating, whether across the globe or when those same threats are here at home, we could talk about the bird flu. We could talk about in Kansas, there's tuberculosis outbreak. We could talk about measles cases cropping up all across the United States. You don't gut the very force, and I'm going to use that word deliberately. You don't gut the very force that's your safety net, that are your guardrails to ensure that everyday Americans can be well and can be thrive. It's misguided. It doesn't make sense. It's actually, frankly, stupid.
I think there is some legitimate questions, though, to be had here, and we see trust across the country has declined following COVID in public health
why
officials.
Did trust decline?
And
trust declined
we were
because
told
of disinformation.
We were told
trust declined because of misinformation.
Work,
and it was
social distancing works.
You're talking to a public health physician.
This vaccine is safe.
We also had a president. We also had a president who told people they could do bleach. We also had a president that talked about drugs that weren't proven.
Dr. Purnell, let me let Madison finish so that you can understand what she's
saying. I think there's legitimate questions as to whether we can trust the so-called experts. And I think people across the country feel this sentiment. And I think by rolling your eyes, we're not saying that doctors are bad or every expert is bad. But I think those are legitimate questions because we were told this vaccine is safe. This will stop the spread of COVID. And then they evolved into saying, well, it's not going to stop, but it's going to slow it and all these things. And none of those are true.
We had Kamala Harris say that she wouldn't even trust
It's not safe. And so many people have suffered adverse effects as a result of the vaccine, and the lawsuits have shown that too.
Lawsuits have not shown that.
Yes, they have. I have friends who have myocarditis under 30 years old from the vaccine.
My father died during this COVID pandemic.
And I had relatives.
My cousins died. Let me finish. My cousins died during this COVID pandemic. My sister was a long COVID survivor. I volunteered for that COVID vaccine trial. I was the executive in a safety net hospital
but that doesn't change
in Newark,
the facts.
New Jersey. We saw the data.
It doesn't change
we
the
saw
facts.
millions. We saw more than 1 million Americans died. You know, we would have seen more if we didn't
what's
have
going
the
on
vaccine?
with the side effects of the vaccine?
The side
Why
effects
can't you
of the
address
vaccine
that? When they told us that it was not going to be...
are something different. And because of that, let me just finish this point. The side effects and adverse effects
It's normal for people to get
myocarditis
myocarditis from the vaccine when we were told it was safe?
No, it's not normal for people to get myocarditis, but that's not what's happening. And let's go back to what you were saying.
It is what's happening.
Experts. We have a so-called leader in the White House that's making decisions.
He's not so-called.
No, that's making decisions that are not rooted in public health science.
But the science was not the truth. What we were told was the science was not the truth.
Oh, the science is true.
Madison.
So do masks work?
Madison,
yes, they do.
Madison, give me a second because, look, we can't hear when everybody's talking at the same time. And we also have to go, but I want to make sure that she can finish her thought. I want to let you finish your thought, but we cannot do it at the same time.
Thank you. So what I was saying before, and I will reiterate, because it's so important for the American public to know this, when you gut the very teams, scientists, physicians, leaders who have been trained, who have studied, and who have lived experience so that we are not caught flat-footed, so that we are not unable to neutralize threats. You only proliferate threats in the United States, and you proliferate those threats abroad. This is not pseudoscience. This is not conjecture. This is not imagination. This is hardcore truth. And there is a fundamental lack of understanding in the White House right now. And you see it with projections of cutting NIH, projections of cutting HHS, CDC, CMS. It doesn't make sense. And you're not going to find any physician that's going to sit here and tell you that those actions are